Welcome to another episode of the Humble Hustle podcast. We are your hosts, Nick and Kayla.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So today we wanted to talk about creative mistakes that we've made.
And we've made many.
Yeah. And like we've said before in one of our, I think this is one of the earliest episodes, if you're not cringing, you're not growing. So
I didn't say this off the mic just now, but you just reminded me because I was preparing for this episode and it didn't really help think of like actual stuff to talk about. It just made me cringe. So it really wasn't helpful. It was not a helpful experiment. But what I did was, since I used to be a YouTuber with air quotes, I went back and watched some of my like first couple videos and oh my God, they are so bad.
You still have not showed me any of the older ones.
It was the most painful thing ever. I was like, oh God.
Oh no. Well, okay. Watching yourself talk years ago is so much. That's another level of cringe.
I'm used to seeing myself on camera and hearing myself, but yeah, I guess like it was like 7-year-old me from like 7 years ago. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
I think most people, obviously we are our own worst critics and no one thinks about the things that we think of ourselves, right? Like people aren't noticing these things. So
do you remember when I think it was you. I said like I started teaching too soon.
Oh yeah. Yep.
One of the videos that I was watching of myself was like, I wasn't even a year into YouTube. It was probably like my 10th YouTube video. And I was trying to like teach people stuff about like how to talk on camera. Meanwhile, I could barely talk on camera as it was.
Oh my God.
This is so bad.
We've all been there. And we learn from these mistakes and, hopefully you only make the same mistake once, maybe twice. I've definitely made
nowadays
repeat mistakes.
Oh yeah, we talked about this not too long ago. Like now, here in 2025, 2026, whenever, I feel like I'm very good at making the appropriate adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I do make mistakes, I'm not saying I don't make mistakes. I do. But when I do make them, or if I'm learning a new technique or something, I'm able to implement it into my like routine almost instantly.
Yep.
Whereas I know a lot of people that just physically can't do that.
Right.
So I'm like privileged to be able to do that. I was talking to Alex about it too. Like we're just able to make the adjustments faster than some other people. And that helps a lot for sure. And it's hard for me to even relate sometimes because it just blows my mind that if you know the solution to a problem, why are you not doing it right now?
Oh, 100%. You should be learning from your mistakes and making those adjustments, like you said, so that you do not do the same thing moving forward. Even if it's something as simple as, you have an experience with a client and you're like, oh, I haven't run into this ever before. Like, let me add a section into my contract that outlines this. Like we were talking about in the last episode, having boundaries with clients, respecting your time, office hours, when you're going to respond to things. Like I have added into my contract, my office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. This is when you can contact me, and anything outside of that, I'll get back to you within those hours. Like,
okay, yeah.
Do I sometimes respond outside of those hours? Yeah, of course. But just letting people know, like, hey, I'm working during this time, and you might not hear from me if you reach out to me outside of those hours. So like simple things, like little mistakes, big mistakes. I have a running document that I keep of like mistakes that I have made or things that I've learned from. And I have the example of the client so that I can review that and be like, okay, let me not make this mistake again. Like I actually like kind of keep track of them.
Yeah, no, that's
to
good.
Help myself.
Also, back to the last episode, you were saying like on a discovery call, you got hit with a question that like you've never heard of before. Like that's happened to me too on a discovery call. It's like, whoa, no one's ever asked me that. How do I respond?
Right.
But then once you figure out the right response, now in the future, when you do get asked that again, and you now have an answer.
Yes. And I also think it's perfectly okay to be like, you know what? I don't know that information.
Saying
right
I don't
now.
know is powerful.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah. I think it's completely, you're not supposed to know everything. Like nobody's perfect.
you say you don't know, and you say you will find out.
Exactly. Yeah, I've definitely done that in the past.
And they will respect you for it.
They will. Yeah. And if they don't, then it's not the right client. That's it. But yeah, we've both made a lot of mistakes, and we kind of just want to go through them and talk about them to see if it helps anyone in the future to not make the same mistakes that we did. I'm sure we're not going to think of everything, but we'll go over a few like general things that we've done that we've now adjusted.
Yeah.
One big one for me is editing mistakes. I by no means consider myself a expert editor. There are tons of things that I don't know. I've opened After Effects maybe 3 times in my entire life.
Like After Effects is hard.
It's so hard. And like I would love to be able to do those things, but I still haven't figured out if that's like a lane that I want to be in. So I would consider myself like I can do the basics of editing, and everything else I just outsource. And that's perfectly fine. Yeah. Like I know my lane and I stay in it. But editing mistakes that I made in the past, like I think my quality of work has significantly improved since I started my business over 3 years ago now. In terms of just generally like shoot settings, like I used to never shoot in 4K. I think like 4K is the standard.
Yeah, no, I mean, because we've been doing this so long, the saying was like, oh, it's becoming the standard. No.
Now it is.
Now you don't say that anymore. It is the standard.
And I look back on some of my stuff and I'm like, geez, it really does. Like I mean, I don't know. We're professionals, so like we can definitely tell, but I do feel like you can tell the difference between
I think even a random
HD
person
and 4K.
can probably tell.
Yeah. So that blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, I really should have been shooting in 4K. That's crazy talk. And the other thing that I did was I shot in log for a few projects, not a lot, but I started shooting in log and experimenting with that before I knew how to properly expose, before I knew.
I blame myself for that because I pushed you into starting to shoot log.
You didn't, but you weren't like, you need to do this. Like you were like, oh, maybe you could like start trying to shoot log. And I was like, fuck yeah, I can shoot log. I'm a professional. No, you have to do your research before, because it's so hard to like, you can't really correct in post the way that you like. You need to know the basics of how to expose things properly.
You need to film it properly.
Yeah.
And then,
because there are some videos that I took that I can't fix it in editing. Like it's unfixable. So that's a huge thing, is like just knowing what you're getting yourself into with camera settings before you fully pull the trigger on something.
Camera settings are like, it seems like it's such a simple thing, but there are so many like sub settings that like some people don't even open, but they actually are like meaningful settings that you should be opening. And I will be the first to say, like, I don't know all the functionality of my camera. Like I use the A7S III. There are definitely features of this camera that I don't use, but I feel like I've mastered the settings that I use on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And that's all I need.
Exactly. Like you don't need to use the stuff that you don't use on a daily basis. But I agree. There's even going from Canon to Sony, I feel like the Sony settings, they have so many more capabilities than my Canon did. I don't know if that's just me. Like but there's even going as simple as the menu settings. Like it is so in depth, and I don't know every single one. So getting used to that change was big. It was very hard for me. Going from, one camera to another, it's like completely different. But yeah, that was challenging for me. So do your research before. If you want to experiment with something, just make sure you practice it ahead of time and that you know what you're getting into. Yeah,
I remember like I shot log pretty much as soon as I could. And like I shot 4K as soon as I could. I had a Canon 80D that couldn't do either. And then as soon as I got the A7S, I immediately switched 4K and log. But man, yeah, the color grading log took me a while to get. I remember, again, going back to my YouTube days, I would film videos in the same room, literally back to back in real time. So like lighting settings did not change at all. And then I edited the 2 videos and they look completely different because I just couldn't figure out how to color it. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Nothing changed, yet somehow I made these videos look completely different. In a bad way.
It's very tough. It's really challenging. And even stuff like I used to shoot like basically all 60 frames per second just to like I was so convinced of it looks smoother and blah 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 and whatever, but I actually love shooting 24 nowadays. Like I love that it gives like that real like more movement feel of it. Like, you know, certain sections of a wedding day should be filmed in 60, certain parts should be filmed in 24. Like I've learned so much in just that regard of like even white balance. I used to always shoot auto. Now I'm like I'm using different white balances and configuring those settings. Too. Yeah. Like, and some projects you're not going to need to shoot log. You're not going to need to dial in white balance like crazy. Like some of them are just that simple, but knowing how to do it. What. Yeah, no, I don't do that.
I know
some
you
of mine don't need it.
And it doesn't bother me, but it's like, oh, it like hurts me to not shoot log sometimes. So when I'm with you and I'm like, oh, I gotta turn my camera and not log. It's like, man, I never do this.
When you shoot with me, sometimes you don't shoot log. And I don't know. Some of them, I just don't feel like they need it.
I think it's come to I think graded log footage, even if you don't do anything crazy, if you just make it look normal, I think looks better than standard footage.
Yeah. I mean, they have that for a reason, right? It's so that you can really dial things in. And I do love, like, now I can properly color grade it. It still takes me like quite a while. I think I'm still like a little slower to get to those perfect settings. I'm
not a colorist by any means, but I just like, I'm on like autopilot. I do the same things basically every time.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. But it's good that you now know exactly what you need to do to get the result that you want. And it's consistent. That's the hard part, is making it consistent.
Yeah. I mean, similar to what our friend Aiden was saying when we were with him the other night, creating a LUT can help with consistency. Or just, you don't have to create your own like him.
Oh my God, I love...
That's a little above and beyond even for me.
I love a good LUT.
But when he makes it, I want to use it.
I know, I want to see. We'll have to check in with him because he did that last week, I think.
But using a LUT can help with just the consistency.
Yeah. Yep. So and I do feel like Canon's color grade is not nearly as good as Sony. Like I had a lot easier of a time color grading the Sony footage than the Canon. It's so much better.
Yeah, no, I do think it's easier. But like, yeah, I use the corrective LUT to make the log footage look normal-ish. And then I throw in second LUT on top sometimes for it's a creative LUT. So that's where like the actual look
like a filter, right? That's the only
you could
like a LUT
say a filter, yeah.
To a non like creative person, you're like, what the hell is that? Like it's in layman's terms, it's a filter. Like that's how I would describe it.
Yeah.
I know it's not, but
I know it stands for lookup table, but I don't really remember what that means.
Is that? Yeah, what even is that?
I remember that in film school. The professor was like, does anyone know what LUT means? And I was the only nerd that actually knew what it meant. And I was like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, lookup table? He's like, correct. And everyone stared at me like, how the hell do you know that?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, YouTube.
Right. Exactly. YouTube. I know. Yeah. So that's like definitely something that I've improved on is color grading. And then like I used to do a bunch of cringy transitions. I used to, you know, like it just.
I did too, but that's just not me. Like that style of editing, I'm not good at, I've said this before, I'm not good at fast paced editing.
Yeah.
And that includes transitions and stuff.
I've tried to implement like for some fitness stuff, like in camera transitions are a lot.
Those are better,
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like doing those.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I kind of editing wise have improved on is just pacing. That's a huge thing that people don't really talk about. When you're a beginner, you just don't understand the concept of how to pace and edit properly. Like, especially if there's like a interviewee type thing with B-roll and like where to put the B-roll, how much B-roll, how long each clip lasts, when to cut the music. Don't make the cuts obvious in the music. Like there's usually just that background kind of drum beat in almost every song. And you could just cut on that easy beat, but that makes a boring video.
Yeah.
So trying to mix up that pacing takes time to learn how to do well.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise it would just be a boring video where like you can anticipate every single cut.
Yeah. And sometimes if it's like more of a, I don't want to say boring project, but kind of like maybe that's what you need.
Maybe that's okay. Yeah.
But one of the most profound things that I have implemented into my videos is actually something that I learned from a previous guest, Sean, is the interlude. Oh my God, I've done interludes in my videos and it has really like leveled up some of my videos. Like just that little break in between the talking, like
He is so good at that.
oh my God, it's made them so much better. And I love adding that now because it's true. Like you don't need someone talking through the full video. Like
No,
take a break.
you really don't.
Like let it breathe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember like I haven't worked with him in a while. I kind of miss it. But when we used to work together, that was our system. He would cut together the A-roll and the music, and he would literally put text graphic on screen, interlude for me. So it's like, okay, this big chunk of like 25 seconds or whatever, that's for me to throw the B-roll in. And it just he did it so perfectly.
Yeah.
It just made so much sense.
Yeah. It's a really incredible tool. I highly recommend people add that to their videos that involve like interviews and voiceovers and stuff. Like,
but again, that's a skill to figure out like where to have those breaths.
Yeah.
And how long they should be.
100%.
Because sometimes cutting away from the talking for too long takes the viewer out of what's happening.
Right.
So you got to be careful not to like let it last too long.
True. Very true. Yeah. So that's been really, really fun for me to add those. So yeah, that's like editing, I think.
I like that one. That was a good callback too.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing that I was horrible at, which I think is common with beginners in this industry, is lighting. I did not know how to properly light my subjects. I didn't know how to use all these different types of lights, soft boxes, diffusion, all that stuff. So I've learned a lot of that from you, of the way that you light a subject. You can literally base it on the vibe. So if you're going for a moodier vibe, you're going to use a different type of lighting than maybe a traditional interview setup. So really using that to kind of help tell the story, and just properly lighting in general, man, it's so important. It makes it so much better. I was horrible.
They always say to the beginners, like, invest in lighting as one of the first things. And to a beginner, it's the most boring thing to hear. It's like, you don't want to hear that. You want to hear how to become better at, editing some cool stuff. But like, no, lighting makes or breaks the video.
Yes.
And coming like 7 years in the future, 7 years in the past me, like, he's an idiot if he thought otherwise.
Right. Right.
Like, it truly does make a difference.
Mm-hmm. And it's not an easy thing to learn. Like, it's pretty tough.
No. I mean, I'm still no expert. Like, yeah, I feel like I know when to use the different soft boxes. Like, for example, we're using a single light today, a lantern, because it's designed to film in multiple directions. It's in the middle of the two of us, so it's lighting both of us. If I wanted just to light one of us, I would use just a normal circular dome diffuser. Yeah. And then know when to use, like, even adding a grid on top of that. That has this stuff comes into play in real life. Like, there's been times, actually, speaking of Sean, on Shoots with Sean, where it was like, we did not want any light to spill on our backdrop. So I threw out the grid on the light dome, and that helps cut all of that off. So, like, knowing your stuff makes a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are times where, like, the client wants a certain look, and you need to know how to achieve that look.
Oh, yeah. I love the shoot we just recently did together. That's probably one of my favorite setups.
A simple, all you need is two lights. You need two lights to make an interview look good.
Yeah, the key light, right? And then the hair light. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can get expensive. And I've invested in, I used to use the RGB like square panels to light people. I didn't have really any diffusion on it. Like it was just not good. But now that I've invested in the proper gear, I have noticed like a dramatic increase in quality of the videos.
Like, for lighting people specifically, the key light, you want that to be like octagon's close enough, like circle shape, because you see the reflection in your eye. We've talked, like I see it right now.
Yeah.
It's the catch light. It's what it's called. And since your pupil and your eyes are circles, it's natural to see the catch light as a circle.
Right.
But if you were using like a rectangular softbox, you would not see a circle. You would see like a big rectangle in your eye. And that just looks weird.
Yeah. Very strange. Yeah. So that's a big one.
It's super, super subtle. But when you see it, you'll understand how unnatural it does look.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where if you're, if you've been in the business for a couple of years and you're looking to, make those smaller increments in quality and really try to level yourself up, that's one of the things that you need to do right away. It's just, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. The next mistake I've made not many times, but like a couple times.
I know, I don't want to make it sound like we're making so many mistakes here.
Everybody makes mistakes. We're not perfect here. Making sure you have things backed up and organized in multiple places before you format your cards. I've lost footage before, and I did it really badly last year with a client who is one of my favorite clients. They're incredible to work with. Springfield Water and Sewer. God, I love them. I love working with them. It's a really interesting client, and we did a shoot where I filmed on multiple cameras, which is that's hard too. So I was shooting photo video on 2 cameras. Both? Yeah. No, not both.
Okay, so you formatted everything.
No, not everything. So I had thought that I backed up everything, and it turns out I was missing the photos on the other camera, and I formatted that, and I didn't even realize they were missing, and I delivered it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, do you have like these ones too?" And I was like, oh my God. Like I couldn't find them anywhere. I panicked. My stomach dropped. Like it's one of those things where they could have come back and said they could have never hired me again after that. I reshot it, obviously did it for free, but they could have easily said, like that's a big mistake. It's not something we can ever get back. It was not something that like, it's okay that we didn't have it. We had to reshoot it.
Yeah.
It's a huge inconvenience.
When you make the mistake that's big enough that you have to reshoot, that's when you know it was like kind of bad.
Bad. So bad. I was ashamed. I was like sick to my stomach. It was horrible. I felt so bad. And that's one of the things that, now I just make sure I triple check my cards and make sure that everything's in a backup. I have the main SD drive that I edit on, and then I have a backup, and I make sure it's in 2 places before I do anything. And I'm obsessive about it now.
See, that's how you should be.
Yeah.
And I will be the first to admit that I'm still, to this day, not great at backing stuff up. Like I've had so many opportunities to get like a NAS system. I just haven't. So
I'm going to get one.
I have so many hard drives from like
me too.
The better part of a decade of doing this. Like
it's so obnoxious.
Probably at least 20 random hard drives floating around my house.
Yeah, me too.
And who knows what's on them all.
I label them. I bought a label maker so that I could label each hard drive so that I know what's on them.
That's smart. I have a label maker. I just don't use it for that purpose.
I'm very organized now because I know that.
I pretty much only use 2 active hard drives to edit off of. I have one it's like a 4 terabyte one, so it can hold a lot, and it's for like my main projects. And then I have one specifically for weddings that I use.
Yeah, me too. I separate my weddings. Yeah, because it's so much footage. It takes up so much space.
Lot of space.
I fill up a 4 terabyte drive like easy.
Yeah,
it's a lot, especially if you're shooting log. Like it's a lot of footage, and a wedding day. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. But yeah, I do have like I now keep it on my desk all the time now. Like, it's like a 20 something terabyte drive that
20.
Yeah,
where do you get a 20?
You can get like really big ones.
I have 8 and 10.
It's like my backup one now. So for like
maybe I'll get that.
I'm so bad that I don't even do it for all my projects. Only the ones that I deem like super important.
Well, yeah, and that's
I will
another
double
thing.
back up on that.
You only hold raw footage for so long. That's in my contract.
See, I hold it forever.
Yeah, no, I don't.
There's just part of me that's like,
things.
like if down the road, what if I want to make some like show reel or something and I need that specific raw clip?
Stuff that like projects that are very significant, I will do that. But there are some that I'm like, okay, well, I put in my contracts, you need to download your stuff. You're responsible for it. I charge people an unarchiving fee too. If they want to unarchive it after the I think I give people a year, which is plenty of time. I'm like, if you want me to unarchive something,
no, yeah, that makes sense, honestly. Like, when I once hired a photographer to take photos of me, and I think she had something similar.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Like, it is such a process to get things back off of a hard drive. Like, not the editing drives. Like, the big ones that I have, the 8 and 10s are spinning discs. So I have to plug it into the wall and it's a process.
It's annoying. Yeah.
That's why I want to get one of those, like the NAS systems, but I'm waiting until I have a house first, because genuinely, I don't have any space for like a big thing to like sit on my desk. I just don't have the room. So that's one of the first investments that I'm going to make.
That's actually another thing we can ask our guest coming in, because he has one.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I really would like to ask him that. That's great. Oh my God. Okay. Oh,
sorry, we have a guest coming in 5 minutes.
We do.
Let's see. To wrap this one up, what else? Is there any other things we wanted to say? We still have a few minutes.
Those are the main things. The other thing is, I didn't ever have multiple audio sources, and so if one failed on me, was it.
Same thing as like the backing up. It's like once you mess up once, you will never do it again. No. You become obsessive.
Yeah, and you can't recover bad audio most of the time.
And yeah, a lot of people, everyone will mess up in audio at one point in their career.
Yeah,
it will happen. I don't care how good you are; it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
And once you experience it, you will be obsessive about so many audio sources.
Yep. Yeah. It's just, you just need backups in case something happens.
Like, there are times where like we have 4 and it's like, oh, we could do a 5th. Let's just do it. It's like you got 5 audio sources and you're still worried. Yeah. That's the level of nervousness I get still.
Yeah. And this actually just happened to me at a wedding. I was shooting it on behalf of my friend Kaylee. But she was doing photo and I was the lead videographer, and we had a second videographer, my friend Max, and I was in charge of audio. So I did the Zoom, I plugged into the DJ setup, had that, but I also had a lav mic on the officiant and the groom, and I had the Kit Kat, the TX660 on the microphone. So there's 3.
Yeah.
And typically I'm always using the Zoom the one that's directly plugged into the DJ booth, as the main source of audio. But in this case, there was like I tested it out and it sounded fine before, but when Kaylee was in and editing the audio of that, there was like a crackling sound the entire time through the DJ's thing. So I was like, don't worry, and I thought I had sent the backup, but I didn't actually send it. So I had that TX660 on the mic so that she could get that audio. And it's not going to sound as great, but at least you have it and it's clear.
Exactly, yeah.
So that saved my ass in that case, especially because I would feel bad enough if I was shooting myself, but for someone else, I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I was really glad that I had that in that moment, because if I didn't, the audio probably would have been unusable. Yeah.
Yeah. Audio is scary.
It's so scary. So scary. Yep. There have been times where I thought I pressed record and I didn't. Nothing big, but like for B-roll stuff. Do you ever do that when you're like shooting, you think you're shooting B-roll and then you go to look at the screen, you turn it off and it actually turns it on?
I'm really, really conscious about that. I think the term is like reverse recording. I think that's what you call it.
Reverse recording.
I think that's what people call it, yeah.
That would make sense.
But like
I've done that.
I've probably done it like maybe once or twice. Yeah. But like I try really hard. It's like, okay, on,
red.
Look, okay, is it red? Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what I like with the Sony is like they're able to do like the very, very obvious red outline.
Yes. Yeah. No, it helps a lot. So that's another one that I've done in the past. But
because I know other cameras do it, but I think Sony's is just more obvious. It's like a thicker red line.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely helps. So yeah, lots of mistakes that we've made. So learn from us. Don't make these mistakes. You probably will, but again, you need to learn from them and just be aware of not repeating as much as you can.
That's the thing. It's like once you make the mistake, you really shouldn't be making it again. It's like, again, what I said earlier. It's like, the solution to your mistake, implement it.
Yep.
Just do it from here on out and you will be fine.
Being organized is, I think, such an underrated characteristic of creative people. Like, yes, you need to have the creative eye, but you need to also have your shit together. Like, you just have to. I
think it's more of a stereotype that creative people are not organized.
And so a lot of them are. We've both experienced it. A lot of people are very unorganized, and it's like, how do you function?
Because I think the association is like creative people are kind of like just all over the place.
What is it, like left-brained?
Maybe.
Isn't that it? I forget which side of the brain it is. But yeah, you have to have both sides. You have to use both sides of your brain, especially if you're a business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening. Please check us out on YouTube and Spotify. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Drop us a comment. What are some of the worst mistakes that you've made as a creative? And be sure to send us any ideas for topics that you want us to talk about. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all the things. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.